Hi, it's Boomer from Artful Pursuits. I am coming to you from the Olympic Mountains in Washington this morning. I'm camping here with my kids, and I brought all my art stuff with me, as I always do when I travel. So I decided to give you guys a peek into my travel pack. Remind you, I do not travel light. I never have. I don't with clothes, and I don't with art supplies. So this isn't what I would recommend that you take on, a worldwide adventure or a backpacking trip wherein every ounce counts. But for me, if I can throw it in the car and I can grab it out of the car, this is what I bring, and it works out well. So recently I was at a hotel, and I had created this using these art supplies that I'm going to show you. So just to give you a concept, it basically doesn't limit me in my creation much. I don't have any sewing stuff in there, so I do the sewing when I get home. All right, so without further ado, I guess I should zip it up. This is my travel art pack. It's a camping stool that you can sit on. It's got a pocket in the front, it's got the main compartment, and it's a backpack. So I can wear this when I go places. Also, what's cool about it is it's a cooler. It's actually meant to be a beach cooler. So if anything were to leak inside of it, it's waterproof. All right, so did you see that? There's a little preview of the amount of stuff that I have in there. Try to get the lighting right. It's bright sun this morning. All right, so here's what I got. I have a lot of pouches, okay? I like to keep my things so that I can take one pouch out and work with it and then throw my stuff back in it and throw it back inside the stool is the way to keep it kind of organized while I'm working. Otherwise, things get really crazy. So this pouch, I added a tag onto each zipper so that I could remember what's inside each one. So this one has paint and markers in it. This one has acrylic inks in it. This one is my watercolor pouch. This is texture tools for mark making. All right, and this last one is my chalk, pencils, and rulers. So if I were to go, say, urban sketching, I would only take maybe the pencil pouch and watercolor pouch, and then everything else I would leave at home. So this gives you maximum flexibility to take pouches in and out. Also, when I'm at home working, I often pull out this watercolor pouch and use it because it has the most limited palette to work with. So sometimes, including this time, I bring paint brushes. This is a cheap roll of brushes that I got at Target. It was $15 for all of these. So I like it with this roll. It's handy dandy. Sometimes I don't bring it though. It's not always necessary. This is always necessary. This would be an include at any time. This is my pencil roll and pencils and pens. So in it I include my Stabilo All mechanical pencil, a set of Faber-Castell Pitt pens in different widths, Uniball Sigmas, several in white because you never know which one's going to work when you need it, some black waterproof pens, some black soluble pens, and then some shading pencils. This is standard every art trip. And it works great when I'm out on a tiny table, like here, picnic table, or if I'm out on a little balcony table. Everything is so secure in that roll. So then as I travel too, I always collect little maps and brochures and stuff, and I just stuff them in an envelope, and I threw some jelly prints in here that I was working with at one point. So I have some little collage bits, but I can just collect those as I go or use any kind of publications that might be there wherever I am. I take some baby wipes and put them in a Ziploc bag. As long as you keep it closed, they stay wet. All right, this is excessive. I get it. I've got a small set of ink tints pencils. These are water-soluble watercolor pencils. A small set of Neocolor 2s, which are water-soluble crayons. And then I have these tritone colored pencils. These pencils are not water-soluble, so they don't bleed when they get wet. And they are interesting because, let's see where the camera is. Each pencil has 3 different color tones in it. So when I do extra shading or detail with these at the end, I don't know exactly what color it's going to be, but it always adds a lot of interest and depth. So there you go. Tritone pencils. I'm going to put a link to all of these products that I'm showing you down below. All right. Almost lastly, I've got a little flashlight bulb that if it's super dark, I can turn this on and off. And I got a paint rag and a clip, because if you're outside working and your stuff is blowing everywhere, then you can just clip it down and get it secure. In the outside, I keep a little squirty water bottle. This will get through TSA, and a tiny Mod Podge, which also goes through TSA. Everything I have here, I have gone through airport security thousands of times with. Nobody's ever given me any trouble. Coffee break. So, So this is the one thing that you might have trouble with. This is a little water bottle, and I just fill it up, and you can fill it up in a bathroom sink, or like if you're on an airplane, you can use your water and kind of pour it in here. And so this I empty. It's a Sistema. It comes with lunchbox kits and stuff. So this I do empty out and fill when I'm somewhere after security, if there is security. And then I have this fold up water cup that I love. I also have the Faber-Castell cup that flattens out, but I like this better. It's called an aqua tote. So you can pour your water directly into it. And if you had a paintbrush that you were using, let's say one of these water pens, it has these little pockets on the side of it. So you can set several things in there while you're working, and it helps keep your space, keeps things from rolling off into your outside space. So water pens are another, I think, very important supply. So sometimes I don't bring my paintbrushes at all because these can get me through. The only exception is I don't want to use these with my acrylics. I like to use them with my water-soluble pencils, crayons, my actual watercolors, anything that's water-soluble. I don't mind using this because then you can, after you use it, they come with all different tip sizes. After you use it, you can just rinse it off and keep using it, no problem. You can wipe it on the towel that I showed you in there, and then it's good to go. Keep going. Got a stray hair. It's annoying. So I keep these in several sizes in my watercolor thing. I also have a travel watercolor brush that is like my favorite thing in the entire world. I wrapped it in Longhorn tape. Go Horns. Graduated from UT. This thing is really cool. It's an Escoda number 6 round, and it is in this great case, so you can just snap it back together. So that's if you're not familiar, these are squirrel hair brushes. They're great. And this number 6 round pretty much does almost anything I want it to do. It's great. So highly recommend those brushes. This is my little watercolor palette. I mean, you've seen 1,000 of these. Everybody's kind of got the same one. It's got the little keyhole on the bottom of it if you want to hold it like that, like a pop socket for your phone. Oh, I also have these Peerless watercolors. These are really neat. If you've never seen these, they're paper. So I can just take one of those wet brushes and wipe it on this and then directly apply that color onto my whatever I'm working on. And they have all these different colors in here. So if I have a color that's not in my other watercolor palette, then I look through here and I can just swipe off of that paper. They've lasted forever. I've never had to replace them ever. That's about it in the watercolor pouch. Chalk, pencil, and ruler pouch. Pretty self-explanatory. Let me see if there's anything in here that's worth mentioning. Oh, I have this pencil sharpener that's awesome because no matter what I'm working with, if it needs to be sharpened, then I've got the right size. And this was actually from a gift shop at the Chihuly Garden and Glass Museum in Seattle. I'm sure that they're available in other places. Other than that, I've got, pencils, erasers, smudging tools in here. Okay. In my texture tool bag, I have things like little bits of bubble wrap, some cards, like gift cards to scrape with. Got some rubber bands, which can be cool for texture. Some punchinella. And I have these little Faber-Castell texture tools. I like these because they're like credit card or business card size. And there are, I think, there's 8. I thought there was 12. There's 8 of them, but they're all on one handy ring, and so it's really easy to pull. And they're plastic. They're pretty sturdy. I keep one little plastic palette knife in here. That's the gist of that. Oh, got a little tape roll, and this is probably something I picked up as I was traveling. Cork. Haven't used it, looks like. So that's the texture tools. This is light as a feather, so no big deal there. The acrylic inks, I learned this in an online class. Can't remember who, but she suggested that you buy these little bottles. So I got a billion of them because you can't buy them less than a billion at a time. And I just took my normal acrylic inks. Most of them are the FW brand. And I just took the droppers out of them, and I squeezed a few drops full in these things. And then when you put the caps on, they seal automatically. And the first time you use it, you can hear break, the crack, like when you open anything brand new. You can hear that seal break, and then from then on it might flow. But these pouches are also waterproof. So I did have a pink one, it looks like. Yeah, this pink one didn't make it. Maybe the airplane may have made the pressure explode this one, but there's a little bit of pink in the pouch, but everything has been great. And I've got a lot of them in there. So the way I use those is I'll spray my page with water, and then I'll drip some of that onto it. And so it kind of goes in like a wet watercolor looking feel, but it's permanent because these are inks. Show you one thing that happened that was kind of cool. One time I was in Colorado, it was freezing, and I decided that I was going to try to sketch the scene. I was at these famous mountains, and so I did that. I sprayed my page with water, and then I dropped the acrylic inks, the light blue, on it, and it didn't occur to me how cold it was outside, and everything instantly froze on the page. Like it was icy. But then after it melted later, it had the coolest texture in it. Isn't that neat? I never could recreate that even if I wanted to. So anyway, this will be a sky, and obviously I had to put everything away. I didn't realize it was so cold that my paints would freeze. So painting didn't work out that morning. I painted the scene later. Okay, so this is my paint and markers. Mostly I have Posca markers in here. I have 3 Tombos, just red, blue, and yellow. So I've got, basically can do what I need to do. And then I do have some tiny, crappy acrylics that I knew were small enough to get through security. And I've got them in black, white, brown, and a couple of greens, because I find greens are tough, but I do a lot of outdoorsy nature sketches and paintings when I'm on the go. So that's it. I'm going to get to sketching here. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day. Well, let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them or show you anything else.